can feel your eyes on me. You are near, chasing down my silver light. Have no fear. Come and follow.
And we're live. Yay. I forgot to refresh chat again. Yay. Alright. We're ready to go. I did remember to spin our boys, so it's all good. How's everyone doing today? We are doing some basing, hopefully. Some very base-to-base basing. Basically, these bases. Basically everything but Space Marine, you could say. Basically picking up where we left off yesterday. So that's about all I got.
Close your eyes and
It's all I got to say. Stream's over. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, actually, I'm actually rather tired, but wanted to put in some effort, some progress, a little bit more progress than I had at work. Although we'll see, who knows. One could say I found many ways of making the thing I needed to not work, and thus have removed them as a possibility. Actually, before I get to this one, I want to redo this one, because this one I felt like, I'm not sure this is the case, but I think some of the ivory paint we base coated with was coming off into the shader and made the shading a lot softer than I wanted. I want some fairly dark browns where there are recesses. Ironically, I hit the mic pretty hot and energetic yesterday, and today I am the exact opposite. I have no idea what's going on in the world right this minute. I have mostly had my head down and working, and I am quite tired. So maybe this will be chill, or maybe chat will succeed in riling me up again. Let's see how it goes. If I'm be totally transparent with you, chat, where my mind is at is actually all the cool stuff going on in my Baldur's Gate playthrough right now. But what's going on is pretty spoiler heavy, so I will refrain from going into details on that unless asked. Let's just say that game is really good, and I have been no-lifing that thing as much as I can, basically, over the last week. Yeah, I think by the time that dries, that'll be a lot closer to what I had in mind. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one. And give it a real heavy pass as well. And some of this is to make up for how Ivory is a lot closer to Tyrant Skull than Pallid Witch Flesh, which is how I used to do these. And now I'm kind of concerned that when I go to do the Tyrant Skull, it's going to dry brush on basically the same color, which I think might be part of the reason why I've been less than pleased with my my purity seals lately. I think there's other things wrong with my last few sets of purity seals, to be fair, but I don't think this was helping any. So to try to make up for it, I'm just going to be real heavy-handed with this Agrax Earthshade, with the knowledge that its replacement, Pro Brown Wash, is already here and waiting. Which does look like it should be basically the same thing, I think. Question is, how am I going to use it? Because unlike with a pot where I can, just stick my brush in it, it's in the same kind of tubes as the rest, so I don't know if I'm like... I don't know how the application's gonna go with that. It'll be a new application system, I guess. If only I had some... It feels like I would need flat bomb, like, thimbles. Or I guess, like, bottle caps? Bottle caps might work. I don't think I have any bottle caps around now. I suppose the backup, if it doesn't come out as high contrast as I like, I can do a thin wash of Nuln Oil. Or even just adding Nuln Oil to the really deep or heavily shadowed areas that I want particularly dark. That I guess would be my backup. My contingency. Alright. I don't know where all the water in my rinse pot went. I swear I filled it, but... only actually half full. Also, I keep getting texts. What am I getting texts about? Who's texting me? Shit, I can't.
As we're breaking down the walls, lightning flashing, lucky I got you. You got me, rainbow crossing as we're heading for the sun. Ain't no stopping, ready. I got you. You got me. Dragons at the gate, they won't stop us getting to the top. Flying into space like a rocket, never giving up. I was all alone when I started, always been the same. Now you're here, the journey's uncharted, everything will change. You know we rule the world. You know
Okay.
we rule
Anyway.
the world. Rule the world. You know we rule the world.
Alright, so while we're waiting for those, we got cultists. That's the wrong character. I need my palette. Nope. I'm not gonna mouse it. Okay. So, yonder cultists, the painted bits, is then, I suppose at any point now I could actually begin adding the guts and gore, but I think I'm gonna do it all in one go, as there's probably gonna be a fair bit of hot glue gun involved, and I'm brand new to hot glue and stuff, so especially like hot glue sculptings. So anyway, basic palette, I believe that was Morn Flesh with Bastigor Flesh as the highlight, with a bunch of Agrax and Nuln Oil was the dominant thing. And then there was Caliban Green and Crude Green, with also, I don't remember what wash that was. I think also Nuln Oil. Maybe it was Agrax. Can I tell? I think it was no. Alright. So I can continue along with trying. What I'm trying to do, what I want to do first and foremost, as fast as I can, as I begin messing up the wash on that piece, which is probably going to take 2 passes, I think, based on the others, and how it's currently looking. It's a lot of flat there. Is I want to get the ability to put down the texture paints as soon as possible, because it's going to take a long time to dry, and do as much of the other painting while that's drying. So I suppose this would be our next step, as there's quite a bit to do here. So I suppose we'll just start with a bunch of Mornfang Brown. So that would seem to be the most obvious first step. I... Oh yeah, I changed my camera angles though yesterday. Yeah. And yeah, you might be noticing me be a little bit on the messy side right here, and that's because, well, it's the first color.
The winds have grown strong. The birds have come and gone. I'm looking every day, but you might still be 1,000 miles away.
The other stuff's gonna layer right over anything I mess up anyway. You know, I have to say, I like Mornfang Brown's ri- really rich color, but its actual coverage slash opacity is awful. And it always takes forever to actually base coat something with it. And it's so dark, you only base coat with it. I mean, besides doing the initial edge highlighting on dark leather that I use for my Raven Guard, everything else is base coating with this. You're putting like 7 layers on stuff. It takes a while to dry. Now I'm just trying to stray from the pod. Like, I'm not even bothering my web palette. It thins it down too much. I'm here all night. Just doing this. Again.
Infinite power.
I wonder if I shouldn't have
Infinite power.
just airbrushed, just like thrown some Mornfang in my airbrush and just base coat these guys brown with the airbrush. Would have been fairly quick because yeah, most of them is brown the way I made their palette. And the way I'm painting them right now, it's going to effectively mean I'm just going to be painting over a bunch of brown from me making mistakes anyway. Oh well.
Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power.
Baby, don't you worry, I'll make sure that you're right. Baby, don't you worry about me, I will be fine. Give you everything that's mine. Hope you won't see the hunger in my eyes. All that we've been dreaming of lies beyond the clouds, beyond the fears, beyond the rain and the tears and the pain. Baby, don't you be afraid, I'll make sure you're safe. I keep on fighting, yeah, I keep on fighting. I keep on fighting, yeah, I keep on fighting. I want you to hide it while I'm on my way. No one will hurt you, I promise you, babe. It will be okay, just be silent and stay. Stay put, don't follow, I'll be back tomorrow. Give you everything that's mine. Hope you won't see the hunger in my eyes. All that we've been dreaming of lies beyond the clouds, beyond the fears, beyond the rain and the tears and the pain. Baby, don't you be afraid, I'll make sure you're safe. I keep on fighting, yeah, I keep on fighting. I keep on fighting, yeah, I keep on fighting. I keep on fighting, yeah, I keep on fighting.
It's gonna be fun putting the base paint
I'll be back
around this arm, I'm realizing.
wake up.
Oh well. Look at we'll handle that when we get there.
Don't cry. I'll be out tonight to keep the monsters away.
Alright, I'm switching over to Cabin Green to do the non-shoulder armor plating, non-spiked armor plating. Everything that's spiked is gonna be just semi-rusted steel. By the way, my logic for trying to hit all the base coats first is so that we get rid of all of the primer or all the undercoat colors as fast as possible. So it feels like we're making progress faster than we might necessarily actually be making based on, say, time put in. That, and I'm already going to be so much more precise with the highlighting and stuff that I'm not too worried about making mistakes after the base coats are in. Like, I might make a couple here and there, but they're not going to be crazy. Then also, a lot of the shading on these guys in particular is going to be similar between the two. If not the exact same. It might be the exact same, actually. I think I'm just going to try doing that. Because I'm actually shading these after I do the highlighting. Except for the metal. Again, more texts. It's potentially about plans either tomorrow, or tonight or tomorrow, I don't know.
Don't give in to the sad machine, to the TV screens. Let love win when it's hard to find, when it's cold outside. I'm alright out here in a lost land. Heartbeat like a tambourine. These fever dreams won't let me sleep. So come real close, if only for a moment. I don't care where it's going, and show me what'll happen when you let love win. When you let love win. When you let love win.
How do I want to paint the guns? I haven't painted one of these guns yet. This actually almost looks kind of like wood. Maybe this should be brown.
Out here
So yeah, I guess these pistols have wood furniture.
Don't care where it's going. And show me what'll happen when we let love win. 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 Surround on the shoulders of giants, forged with amber and gold. An empire stood through the clouds, it was endless. Stories of peace it foretold. Where sea meets sky and the water in moonlight, mountain tops kiss with snow. People held up the legends of bounty, reaping the peace that they sowed. By one in secret planted greed, and watered it with pride and fear. Seasons change like the turning of tides. The blossoms started to fade. The air grew heavy, electric and warning. The greedy knelt down and they prayed. They begged for peace, for the legends of bounty. No one planted a sword. The secrets grew like the storm in the distance, came to
What's up, Diablo? Potentially even making painting progress tonight, if you can believe it. Oh yes, I believe I do owe you a explanation as to what is even going on with the Raven Guard and their deep strike tactic. Countdown to Saturday, yeah, right? Is there something specific this Saturday? Is that the Codex technically being out? I'm not even sure when I'm supposed to expect mine. I pre-ordered it through the website. Codex release? Okay, yeah. Okay, so based on... Alright, let me go through the whole history so this all makes sense. With the Raven Guard thing you were sending me the other day. 8th edition, second Space Marine Codex comes out, then the chapter supplements come out, the Raven Guard one comes out. It comes out with a Warlord trait called Master of Ambush. I pre-ordered and it got delivered last Thursday to the Warhammer store. Oh, cool. I get mine delivered directly to my house because I'm still haven't gotten a car. So that I should be able to fix that soon. So that's good. So anyway, Raven Guard Coast comes out, Master of Ambush Warlord trait. What the Warlord trait is that you can choose this Warlord and any other infantry unit. Like one other infantry unit. And you can redeploy them before the game starts anywhere on the map outside of 9 inches of enemy models and the enemy deployment zone. What happened was after the initial Iron Hands nerf, where they nerfed a bunch of their stuff that made them super powerful, is that Raven Guard players have been playing around with it and realized you could do that with Assault Centurions, and it was super broken because back then you could take a captain. Let's say you want to go whole hog danger zone in the enemy's face captain. You would take a Gravis captain, which isn't even as good as it is now, but it was still the toughest back then at T5 and 1 more wound. And you would then give it the Chapter Master upgrade with some more points, which would then give it a 6-inch aura of reroll all hits. And then you could also use the other stratagems to push forward, like pre-game move, a bunch of other units as well. So you could have, you could also have an you could also do this with an apothecary, which could then resurrect the Centurions, or you can move another apothecary up there by using pre-game move, right? And it would just be 6 assault Centurions within 9 inches, 4-inch move, and then a 5-inch charge, which then you could use other characters or the Master of the Trifold Path to take 2 warlord traits and give them the warlord trait. It was called Swift and Deadly, which would give rerolls to charges. So then it's a 5-inch reroll charge, and then you have a bunch of assault Centurions in the enemy's line after a full round of 6 melta guns and whatever chest weapons they had, which was like usually hurricane bolters. So like 3 hurricane bolters, 6 melta guns, and then a charger. This was super broken. As soon as like the second the Iron Hands got nerfed, Raven Guard were the most powerful army in the entire game, bar none. Because by the end of by the end of turn 1, half the enemy army was dead. It didn't matter which army it was, everything died. And there was no way of really getting around it except for deploying way back in your line, and a lot of stuff just literally couldn't fit far enough away to make it matter because of advanced in charge. And remember, those 6 Centurions are re-rolling all of their hit rolls because of the Chapter Master. So it was utterly broken. So their fix was they added a caveat to Master of Ambush: infantry unit except Centurions. And that basically fixed it. Raven Guard were still very strong, but you know, now the worst thing they could throw against you were aggressors, which are still pretty brutal, but not as disgusting. Because it was disgusting. It was awful. It was real bad. I never tried it, but I saw some, because I don't own any assault Centurions. But I had seen some games, and it was pretty insane. It didn't matter what you threw the Centurions at, it died. Because you think a bunch of Power Fists hit hard, a bunch of Siege Drills hit way harder. And this is before vehicles got their big tough buff. That happened in 10th edition. This was still in 8th edition. So, like, these guys are nutty strong. So that's how they fixed that. And that's how it stayed all through 9th edition. It's like Master of Ambush. You have 6 Assault Centurions. I love them all. I really like the models too. I only recently got 3 Devastator Centurions. And I haven't painted them yet. I got them as part of a trade. They're already built. I'll get to them eventually, but I have always liked the general concept of them. But so that's Master of Ambush. After a while, I actually stopped using Master of Ambush wholesale because you'd have to still try to figure out how to get off the charge. I instead shifted to focusing on the Swift and Deadly, the pre-game move and the Swift and Deadly tactic with Vanguard veterans, and that seemed to work way better for me. But a lot of people still swear by Master of Ambush. So what it looks like what they have going on now, based on Auspex' video, is that they have the enhancement to Blade Driven Deep, 25 points. This is only in the Vanguard. Infantry amount only. Bearer's unit gains Infiltrate first turn, which means that you have like 3 things you gotta figure into that. It can only go on to an infantry character, which is fine. That's pretty much all of them anyway. But then it has to be onto a character that can attach to a unit that you'd want that to be on. So you're probably talking Terminator character with Terminators, or Blade Guard unit for Tacticus, or Aggressor unit for aggressors. Or I guess you could also go with a bunch of eradicators. That wouldn't be the worst idea ever. However, it still has like your basic limitations of this is gonna be an infantry unit 9 inches away from. Yeah, Termies are Grav's captain on aggressors. Right, exactly. I mean, Blade Guard wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but I think you could do better right now with either aggressors or Terminators. Both are very strong. But you're still working with it under infiltrate rules, which is 9 inches away from their units and their deployment zone, and it's before the game starts. So you're running into a few weaknesses in comparison to, say, going via. Also, you can't put on named characters, so like Shrike's off the list entirely. Which is fine because all the guys he attaches to are jump pack anyway, so it's super fast. But this is where the weaknesses of the old Master of Ambush came in, which are like threefold, I want to say. You have to be a certain distance away from the enemy, which you decide to be put there right before the game begins. So if they have cleverly forward deployed and use infantry or scout units of their own, you're zoned out of efficacy. Thus, you have wasted your investment. Or you get there and you're intending on to using it to make a charge and you fail the charge. You have put yourself in a very vulnerable position and wasted the resources. The Infernus might not be that bad because that's range, that's not melee. I still throw the same logic at it as I did back in 9th edition, where it seems to me that you are better off, unless you're doing a big gun line thing. Like, you know what would be pretty would be pretty brutal still? Is a bunch of Hellblasters, actually. A bunch of Hellblasters and a Lieutenant and an Apothecary. With one of them having the Blade Driven Deep and the other one having probably... Oh, actually, none of the other ones are actually particularly good for that. You just get to forward deploy a bunch of Hellblasters. The problem is, and this is why I say the Vanguard detachment's pretty dumb and not good, is that, okay, great, now you're within 9 inches of the enemy, and you have a bunch of guns. But your guns are just your baseline guns because you have no buffs to them whatsoever. There are no buffs there, because all your buffs clock in when you're over 12 inches away. I mean, you could deploy yourself over 12 inches away, but then it's like, why'd you bother with the enhancement? No Man's Land is not that deep most of the time. Like, even at its, like, farthest away, I think it's like 12 inches. You have a 6-inch move, plus advance, where, you know, a fair number of these guys have advance, like, assault built in. Or it's like Terminators already have their teleport deploy. You just have to wait till turn 2. Like, it's just a turn 1 teleport deploy, which, I mean, like, I guess makes, like, sense if it's to take over the middle objective. But again, if they had previously done their own infiltrate and boxed you out, then you're screwed. What cannot ever be boxed out, at least not for very long anyway, are transports. Either they have the mobility to go around any forward deployed guys, or you can just roll them right into the contested objective. Can you put enhancement apothecary? Yeah. Oh, I actually, right at the beginning of 10th edition, I used to do this with Gladius. What I would do is my very first combo, My first combo I did was a Primaris Lieutenant, a Primaris Apothecary, 10 Hell Blasters. The Lieutenant had, oh, what were the Gladius ones? I want to say the Apothecary had Storm of Fire. And the... What would I give the Lieutenant one? Not Storm of Fire. Fire Discipline. Oh, actually, no. I could throw it on either one. Probably the Lieutenant. Because it sustain hits 1, and if you do it with Storm of Fire and... Or is it... Hold on, what am I looking at? Oh, it's the prospects thing confusing me. Where are my cards? I have the actual cards. What am I doing? Bolter Discipline. While the bearer's leading unit ranged weapons equipped by models, that unit have a sustain hits 1 ability. In addition, while the bearer's unit is under the effects of Devastator Doctrine, each time a Monad unit makes a ranged attack, a successful unmodified hit of 5 up scores a critical hit. And I'd have that on one of the 2 characters, but you can do it. What actually is probably the... Actually, it doesn't matter which one you put on, but you can't put them on Apothecaries. I think maybe I just tossed on Artificer armor onto one of them. Probably the Apothecary, honestly. But yeah, I even made that captain to do it with the guys with the Hellblasters, so they could get Overwatch for free or Storm of Fire for free. Now it's Storm of Fire for free because you can't Overwatch for free anymore, which is fine. Last redrop pot, the Hellblasters, yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. I painted probably one of my favorite models today, and I'm immediately not using him. I'm immediately shelving him for a completely Tacticus-less army and Phobos-less army, no less. But yeah, should be to the top a little bit more. There we go. But yeah. That happens sometimes. I had a lot of fun painting them, so whatever. But yeah, the question consistently becomes with the Vanguard attachment, after that first turn, what then? What's your game plan? What are you now doing now that you're over there? You're now in the enemy's face, and your options are continue to fight as just a bog standard Space Marine, which is not the most powerful thing in the game right now, by a long shot. Or you can retreat to get out of range, or out of close range, so you can get your bonuses. And there still is no way of, putting assault intercessors via abilities into close range. You're still looking at transports and that. So all in all, it still ends up the Firestorm Assault Force still seems to be the best one for someone like me that I probably could pull off the Iron whatever it's called pretty well if I want to. I mean, honestly, Gladius isn't so bad either. Which I guess they changed some of the stuff. Some of the humans, I don't know. Question, can you use infiltrators to block out party enemies' deployment zone during the beginning of the game? No, because infiltrate still is... The infiltrate rule is still 9 inches away from enemy models and the enemy deployment zone. And while, yes, you'll get 3 inches coverage into their deployment zone with the Deep Strike null field, that only counts for units coming in from reinforcements. So that's reinforcements, not strategic reinforcements. It includes strategic reinforcements, but it's not only strategic reinforcements. So it's like literally anything that comes in via a reinforcement rule. So that's your teleports, I want to say your summons. It does not include redeploys, I don't think, to be honest. Unless those are, you go into strategic reserves. Then I have to check. The wording kind of becomes weird there. But Terminators are not landing there later. But they can deploy there normally. Just fine. Deployment is not covered by your backpack. What it does... Actually, I think it does, null out other infiltrators. I think. I have to check. Yeah, let me check that. Enemy units are set up on the battlefield as reinforcements, cannot be set up within 12 inches of this unit. So actually, no, I don't believe it, I do not believe it includes other, no, it doesn't include things with the infiltrators or the scouts rule. So they are still, I mean, it's still, to be fair, it still keeps them from infiltrating within 9 inches of them, just not 12 inches. Scouts is a pre-game move, so they're not affected at all. So, I mean, you can still block people out with infiltrators if you deploy them first, which is why, personally, I usually deploy my infiltrators instantly. They're first to hit the table every time because of that. It also sometimes begins adjusting where the enemy deploys, or with the enemy, where my opponent, where the enemy. Yeah, I'm talking to all of you at my local game store. Adjust where they begin deploying their stuff. Sometimes. But my local game store is not likely to see a lot more of that for a little while. Ugh. Also, I am super tired. I was pretty close to not streaming today. But I felt like I've not been streaming a lot lately, and I can't be having that. I've just been putting a lot of mental effort into this thing I'm stuck with on work. This it's a button. It's just a button. Well, the button's actually fine. It's the so it's in a data table, and I figured out how to make the column it would normally appear in, you know, disappear or appear. It's just trying to get the correct if statement so that when the multiple potential very specific criteria for the data being put into it is met, it pops up to show said button. And I cannot for the life of me figure out how to get it to recognize when it does and does not have said button to trigger whether it's visible or not. Super annoying. I mean, I can usually get it to notice one or the other, whether it's there or when it's not there, but not both in a way that actually helps me. Data tables is a plugin for jQuery, which is in JavaScript, which is part of why I'm having such a problem, because JavaScript is probably easily my weakest language of the, like 5 I use. Yeah, no, the visibility part's fine. It's the if statement to track the data of when there's a button in there, because what is if there's no active button because it doesn't meet the criteria of the rest of the table, then I don't want the column there to be there at all. Like, either there's a button or there's no column to even suggest that there could be a button. Because I don't want us to later get a bunch of messages of people trying to appeal their parking tickets saying, oh, the button's not working, I want to appeal my ticket, when in reality their ticket's not eligible to be appealed anyway. Like that's why there would be no button. So we just get rid of the whole column. But I can't get it to recognize when there is or is not a button, is the problem. The visible part I've got working perfectly. It completely disappears when it wants to disappear. And the query for the criteria, it seems to be working perfectly fine as well. It's just trying to get that information from the PHP over into the data tables plugin in a way that it makes sense to it. That's where my hiccup is. And it's just ticking me off. Because all day was just trying different versions of the same if statement. The same, like, 2-line if statement. It's not even sleep. I don't even need sleep. It's just my brain is well used. I am mentally tired. I don't even think I'm necessarily that physically tired. If I had to, like, go do a bunch of physical effort, I'd probably be fine. This guy probably felt so good about the amount of armor he was wearing. I know I would. And then, man, he just ran into, like, the wrong guy. He ran into a special marine. And this armor did not help him at all. I should be using a much smaller brush than this. For this right here. But hey, on the plus side, with the amount of JavaScript I'm now having to do when I finish this contract and I can sit down and work on the multi-chat for stream for a bit and just focus on that for a little while, we're gonna have a lot of new functions because the like commands and events and stuff, it's all just JavaScript. It's just pure plain JavaScript, which means in theory I could do all kinds of things in there. Like for example, put alerts, or maybe get alerts back in there, which would be nice. I'm not getting tagged in Discord. Oh, I forgot to post in Discord that I'm live again. Like I wrote the post. I just forgot to hit enter. Oh, no, it's there for all of like the probably hour and a half. I'm gonna keep going. At least I've already like half figured out how to get a bunch of our old commands back into chat, so that'll be nice. But all the links, all the link related ones seem to work. I should probably at some point just go in and put a quick command to show all the current commands. Since that'd be pretty easy. And throw that in the title or the description. No, probably the title, because 2 of the platforms don't have descriptions. That way people know to use them. Yeah, actually, now that I think about for reference, I don't normally sleep till between, usually sometime between 2 and 3 a.m. It is 8:30 p.m. I am in my afternoon, effectively. I probably would be doing a lot better right now if what I was coding right now was something a lot more, or was something I was making a lot more progress with, if I wasn't like so stuck and thinking so hard about it. I'd probably be in much better shape. Hopefully once I get past this particular part, as this just happens to be taking advantage of a particular personal weakness in the skill set. Have a good one, man, Diablo. Thanks for popping in. So, Venom. What you painting? Still working on an ancient? Right, fair enough. Although I'd have to imagine you did not care for Auspex' Space Marine tier list. Which kind of ancient are you painting right now again? Yeah, it's like Primaris Ancient. Very bottom. Complete useless. Never run it. Go for it, man. Although he put my Storm Raven in tier 4, and I'm like, although to be fair, he did say that like in Firestorm Assault Force, it probably would rank a lot higher, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's why I'm running it in that. I am personally rather surprised, pleasantly surprised, that if you remember when I first went through the Space Marine Index, I said the new Ballistus Dreadnought was a complete piece of crap garbage and I hated it. And I was annoyed that I owned one now. And now here we go. Tier 1, and I agree with Auspex. They dropped its price so much. And moved around a bunch of the other anti-armor options that, yeah, it makes total sense to run a Ballistus. And I'm like, yay! And the paints make total sense to put in the Storm Raven with the Eradicators. This is gonna be such a brutal list when I'm done with it. I got so much to do. It's almost dumb, I have to say. It's like almost dumb the amount of work I'm putting into like these cultist additional bits when I should be moving on and painting all the other stuff. Because by the time I have this list done and painted, they're gonna have changed stuff and I can't run anymore, which has happened to me before. Should I like right now stop painting this cultist, pop these bits off the bases, put the base, finish the rocks, do the texture painting I was gonna do, pop the intercessors on the bases, and move on to like either the next set of... Honestly, if I'm taking a break between Gravis armor, which I probably want to, and I actually need to order another one of those transfer sheets because I have totally misplaced one of those arrows. What would I be moving on to? Probably it'd be either the Dreadnought, the Ballistus Dreadnought, or the Land Ray Redeemer I have right now. Because yeah, I have another Land Ray Redeemer, 2 Gravis characters, I have 3 more. I have to partially repaint 1 squad of Gravis. Which, no, I should wait because it's right. I'm waiting for that check so then I can... order, multi-melta arms for them. So, probably the Land Raider, actually. And I come back to these. way later. Like at the end, so I can actually feel this stuff. I suppose the immediate priority, if I'm not going to do my Gravis armor right now, would probably be the Dreadnought, because Dreadnought is still on the sprues. And the Land Raider is technically built, so it's the closest to me being able to run the list of the options. This makes sense, right? Yeah, I probably should actually do this. But I want to share that. So yeah, I have, hold on, 5 more. Oh, I have the heads I need to paint for these guys. I forgot they have no heads. Yeah, that's what I should be painting, is their heads. Yeah, okay. These extra details are cool, and I will get to them eventually, but yeah. I have not been getting as much painting progress as I thought I would have, considering how much I thought I would be trying to stream. What? Did you post pics and then delete pics? Just a minor step backwards to make many steps forward, I get. Yeah. Yeah, basically. You see the pic on urine? Oh, that's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was weird. It didn't show me which channel it was in. How bizarre. I can see where you were having the issue with the gray to white. It's all good, man. We'll get you figured out. Well, let's take a proper look here. Let's see. This should. Oh, that doesn't. Hold on. Oh, actually, no. I have to make you guys look at that while I fix it. Hold on. I don't know what's actually happening here. Probably just needs to be refreshed. Oh, nope. It is still. What even? Hold on. And unfortunately, it takes my music with it. But let me unplug and replug stuff back in. Yeah. What is happening right now? Oh, I think it's starting to re-figure out the connection. That one jack, there's no way that jack should be that wobbly. Do, 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 do. I have to fix a bunch of stuff. Hold on. That over there, and I got that there. Oh, it went over here. Oh, I think ironically, we'll wait for Venom to get back. Alright, there's the music back. Alright. Alright, based on how the other ones look, I think the 2 coats of Agrax are fine. Could be a little bit darker, but I'm not gonna go too crazy over it. But the 1 coat definitely is not dark enough in general. I think that left to dry. I don't know why it keeps unfocusing so much. That left to dry should be good. Of course, actually dry brushing them will not be time intensive enough for that to finish. So, what I'm thinking is I will begin getting the heads ready. Okay. Okay, actually. Here's what I'm gonna do. As annoying as these were to glue onto the corpse back. Actually, that was probably the single most annoying one to glue. I'll keep that one on. Let's take these 5. And heads. Head. Here. No significant differences in the heads, and doesn't look like a whole lot annoying. Nice. Like a little bit of mold lines on the side, but not that crazy. I suppose if anything, the most annoying part of this is I'm not gonna have finished model picks until I guess when I finish the Dreadnought, because, well, the Cultist's not gonna be finished on these anytime soon, and I actually need to get more Raven Guard transfers before I can finish this squad anyway, or the next squad for that matter. No, well, I guess. Alright, that's finally done. That felt like it was taking forever. Now the actually annoying bit.
you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. These the dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. These the dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. Somewhere by the endless sea, where the moon and water meet. Somewhere close to harmony, when the world is sound asleep. Something's gonna bring a change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. These the dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come
Welcome back, Venom.
away with me.
As you can see, I'm doing the annoying part of preparing the heads. Man, this liquid glue is the worst thing ever. I don't know why this exists. There we go. I'm gonna pop the other two heads on here, and then we'll take a look at your ancient.
Come and fly away with me. 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 Come and fly away with me.
See, if this were super glue, like just normal glue, that would have stuck. Yeah, I have to like hold this till it dries, not to hold weight. By weight, I mean like 1/10 of a gram that this head weighs. Oh, did you not hear my whole glue story? Okay, so normally I almost exclusively use Loctite precision pens, which is like just super glue, but in a pen. It's real nice. Because it allows you to be real precise with said super glue, and it dries super fast. Even enough to just hold something together, and then you can let it cure the rest of the way. And I normally buy them by the half dozen from Amazon, like a box of them. So I go do that, and this was like a month and a half ago, I think. And they sent me 6 glass glue tubes from the same company. I'm like, well, this is like basically useless to me, so whatever. I'll try again. I have them refund me and order again. What they send me? Another 6 glass glue tubes. Alright, that's... I'm unable to get a human on it, but I'm able to get AI. Get to agree to refund me for a third order. You know what they send me? 6 Loctite liquid super glues, which I had some before and I hated and I avoided using at all costs. I really needed glue by that point because that entire fiasco took like 2 weeks. So I'm just going with it, I guess. So I have like $40 worth of glue, or what, 60 grams of glue I hate. But I'm just gonna go with it. Because I need glue. Because Amazon or Loctite, I can't figure out which, cannot for the life of them figure out how to send the right box. The glass glue boxes even had, it said glass glue on the side of the box, and then they had a sticker with the barcode saying precision pens, or whatever their item was called. It was the most dumb thing. Oh, I got some texts. I gotta look at it real quick. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I don't think I have any of those boxes still around, or I'd show you. It's the most absurd thing ever. But anyway, is this thing done drying? It's pretty close. Oh, hold on. It's about, like, plans, so I need to handle this. I think I'm going to go for another like 20 minutes. Oh, I just got some of that. What did I mess up? Well, that's noticeable. Hmm. Oh, this is making this much worse. Hold on, I need a bunch of... So I was gonna say, I'm probably gonna stream for another like 20 minutes, and then actually I've got stuff coming up that I need to go handle. And then I'll probably be back on Friday, actually. Friday, Saturday. We'll see if my codex is slated to arrive the same time as, or, you know, for their big release day on Saturday, so I can actually discuss it more smoothly. I know Auspec's videos there, but then I'll have actual wording to put to everything, which is important. Summaries are not always the best when it comes to stuff like 40k stratagems. Yeah, I guess I need to have that dry upside down so the shader actually stays where it needs to be. Of course I like touch it where it's wet and screw it up in a noticeable way. Well, that's got me set back. I was gonna dry brush these and start putting texture paint and then probably stop there because I didn't feel like pulling out my airbrush. With so little time left. But now that has to dry. Hmm. I guess ironically, I thought I was gonna do a bunch of base painting today, and I just painted a bunch of stuff I immediately scrapped and tossed out and got absolutely nowhere. Excellent. Made about 10 solid minutes of actual progress are gonna hold on to long term. Or, I suppose medium term. Long term, I mean, we'll get back to those cultists eventually, but that probably won't be for another, like, 3 months. Maybe longer. I mean, yeah, like 2 land raiders, and Dreadnought's not gonna... Actually, Dreadnought could be kind of fast. Yeah, Dreadnought doesn't have to take forever. It's mostly big plates. I've got a ton of, like, vehicle-sized transfers. So unless we do some type of crazy, freehand stuff on that, which I'll probably want to do, honestly. What do the plates look like on a ballistas? Am I even gonna want to put, actually, yeah, Venom, while you're back, before I completely lose track of what's going on, let's look at your ancient. Hey, it's working. Sweet. Okay. So, yeah, I'm noticing that your gray to white. So, as a reminder, how it works is you paint it like a mid-tone gray, which I think yours might be along in the dark end. Nope. Then you do a darker, like really fine shade in the recesses. And then you hit most of it with a slightly lighter, like something between mid-tone and light gray. and then you do the edges like really bright, like a dark white. But we'll get you there. To be fair, it still ends up looking better than my first attempts at white, so. But yeah, it's not terrible at all. It's an ancient. From table distance, it'll look pretty good, even just where you're at right now. Okay, so 40k Ballistus Dreadnought. Am I even gonna wanna do... Yeah, so the side panels are probably gonna tempt me, or even here, tempt me to do some freehand nonsense. Yeah, I suppose we'll have to take a look when we get there. Deadly Prince got a pretty good one going. I don't know who does their painting, but it's pretty good. For anyone who doesn't know, Deadly Prince Studio specializes in the like muzzle flare and missile effects and explosions and smoke stuff and all that. That's what they do. Actually, switch over to the main cam. The exploding head cultist is actually made out of a bunch of prints from their really old, from some of their muzzle flashes from way back in the day. Their muzzle flashes got way better, but I took one of their main bolt rifle ones and 3 of their pistol ones and popped them together, and that made our exploding head. Mostly base coast still got more to go. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, Celestial Gray was too dark. Celestial Gray, well, that's what I use, but what is I use Celestial Gray, then I use my precision shader I use for the white scars, and then I go back with like the blue gray. What's this called? White blue is going to be what I'm going forward with. Before is Ulthwin gray, and I would do that for like the layer, basically. Let me get a piece that actually has that. Actually, yeah, the Plasma Captain. So I did all the Plasma Captain. I mean, he has a lot of blending for smooth transitions, but yeah, like those are the colors I used. And then really bright white highlighting. The Celestial Gray mostly just gives you something like something that makes a good undercoat and something to give you a dark white where you want in shadow, because like all of that's like mostly just Celestial Gray. That's just that basically is your helmet. That's Celestial Gray with matte white highlight. But in the areas under light, I have it transitioning up to brighter whites. This guy came out really good. It kind of sucks this guy's not going to see much play for a while, because I'm all about that Gravis. Yeah, it's fine. But magnets, but I think they're too small. Too small. Or what? Were you trying to use the Triplets me? Oh, yeah, I don't even know. I haven't, like I said earlier, it's still on a sprue. That would actually probably be Friday night stream, is getting that off the sprue and seeing what we're working with. The camera screwed up. Focus. Here. Me. Nope, I'm blurry. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like waiting long enough for this. It's ironically not even drying that well. It's gonna have coffee stain marks on it. That really sucks. You see that middle there? That's ironically where I touched it and what I was trying to fix all the extra stuff, and it's just the wash just doesn't want to go there. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna have to do? Oh wait, what am I talking about? Friday's not gonna be the dreadnought. I have the heads to do. Well, I saw the bases and then the heads to do. What I'm gonna have to do Friday is, unfortunately, this entire layer of like rock plate, I'm gonna have to repaint ivory and just restart basically. That's the only way to definitively fix that. Pretty much, unfortunately. Really sucks, but eh. So, more or less, the rest of this week is finishing up the, getting a baseline for the first 5 heavy intercessors. And then, what happened to my... Oh, no. Oh, there's the music. That was weird. Are they resin? Oh, the rocks? Yes. Yeah, these are actually pieces of bases from Bits of War's resin bases. I chopped them off the original bases, which were 28 or 25 millimeters. Way smaller bases. Chopped off the base part and made them into stuff for this to accommodate the cultist bits that I'm not applying yet. Whatever. We'll get there. So yeah, I guess this week is finishing the Gravis, the first 5 Gravis. For at least get them tabletop ready. And then next week will be the Dreadnought. Probably the next 2 weeks, the Dreadnought. Maybe, I would hope by then I would have Eradicator, Multi-Meltas, and then we'll do the Eradicators. So I have, I don't know what sheet they're on. I have 3 Eradicators that are painted, so they're probably up here. They're painted, they're in 3rd company colors. I'm gonna, yeah, dude. Those are currently painted. I have 6 more Gravis, or 6 more Eradicators. They're all the same because they're from the Indomitus box. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order, once this check comes in, I'm gonna order 2 sets of Eradicator arms, pop arms off the other 2 of the other 3, and I'm gonna paint these shoulder trims to be probably 5th company. Yeah, paint them black, and paint the other 3 fully. I guess also 9th squad. They'll just all be 9th squad. Yeah, this guy will remain the sergeant. Because yeah, they're just flying in as a 6-man right now, so I don't need one of them to actually be another sergeant. And that'll see our Dreadnought, Eradicators. Then we'll probably do the other 5 heavy intercessors, because by then I should have more transfers. Then probably a Land Raider. No, I said Land Raider. I guess then probably the next Land Raider, and then the last 2 characters, and then this list is painted. Excited to see what Fran you come up with, Dreadnought. I have some ideas for mine. Yeah, that I'll know when I'm staring at it. That's usually how that works. I'll be looking at it and I'll just be like, I want to do this, and then I'll just like do it. That's usually how it works, and it usually just costs me a bunch of extra time I didn't really have. Yeah, the hope is I can get this list at least built and painted enough to play it before they change something. Before they change something within the list, I should say. Which, I suppose I do have some leeway right now, because if I don't take any enhancements, I have, what, like 45 extra points right now. So like, I can take enhancements. I don't super need any. I mean, some of the enhancements are nice, but I don't super need any of the enhancements right now. So they could shift some of the points fairly drastically and not mess me up. It would be more like if they changed some of the categorizations for some reason, like Storm Raven, transport rules, for example, would screw me pretty hard. Or I guess Heavy Intercessor or Land Raider points. Like if Land Raider Redeemers suddenly went up a bunch, then I'd probably be screwed, because I have 2 Land Raiders and they're pretty big, so they'd probably be looking at... Well, I guess the Land Raider Redeemer could go up 20 points and I'd be fine. I suppose it'd be 20 points and something else going up, but I mean, they just drop a bunch of Space Marine points, and it still doesn't seem like, especially with the Oath of Moment nerf, like Space Marines are like dominating or anything, so it's probably going to be completely fine. So, alright, so yeah, I have to go handle stuff. I'll be back in 2 days. I'll be back Friday, and we'll wrap up the Heavy Intercessors. Hopefully I won't get massively sidetracked in some completely meaningless tangent that's helping no one anywhere ever. Have a good one, Venom. Have a good one, Lurkers. If you enjoy any of my rambling and barely painting or barely making progress painting, feel free to follow. Ideally, I am streaming as many nights a week as I can between Monday and Saturday. At peak, it's 6 nights a week, but at least 3 I usually hit. So between 3 and 6 nights a week I am streaming painting, talking basically anything that comes up, from D&D to politics, whatever seems to be on my mind, on people's mind. In addition to the obvious 40k, because obviously. One day, maybe, I will play a fully painted list. That's a bit dramatic. I have painted fully painted lists before. I went to a tournament with a fully painted list and somehow still lost the best painted contest on that, because I don't put a lot on most of my bases. Now I'm putting so much stuff on my bases, it's slowing down normal models. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Alright, have a great night, everyone. I'll catch y'all later.